How's it going? Okay, so you've probably seen on social media where you get these little reels or TikTok clips or whatever, and clips change with the beat of the music. So we're going to look at how we can do that in Premiere Pro. It's very similar to what we did before with the slideshow with the still images, but there's a little bit more in depth because you need to go into every clip to do a wee bit of tweaking and things like that. But it's all really simple. A couple of basic principles kind of just dropped and layered on top of each other, and we'll end up with something that looks pretty cool. So let's just get stuck straight in. Alright, so here we are in our project, and this time we have nothing in here, so we're actually going to do a little bit of a full walkthrough. So to bring media in, we can right click in our project window and hit import, or we can double click and that will open up, and then we can navigate to whatever folder we want. So this is the stuff that I want for this one, so I'm just going to select everything and hit open, and that'll drop it all in here, which is nice, but that's a little bit messy and I don't like that. So I'm going to click down here on new bin, and I'm going to create one called clips. Click on it again and call it music. I'm going to drag the music file into there, and then hold shift and select all of them and drag those into clips. And there we go. So next I will right click, new item, and sequence. And we can see now in the new updates we've got new presets that are already assigned. So this one we're going to be looking at a social media kind of platform, so we want to be looking at 9:16, and we can see here in the frame size that's going to be 1080 by 1920. So we can go down here and name the sequence, main sequence, and hit OK. And there we go, there's our sequence, and it's already created a timeline null for us. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit. And then the first thing we want to do is I've got this music track here, and this is the track that we're going to use for this. It's on YouTube audio library, just Dance of the Fireflies, Nathan Moore. Now, I'm only going to be using about 30 seconds, so I'm just going to go forward about 30 seconds. And you can either hit O for olive on the keyboard, or you can click on this for mark out. And then that will mark, this is then the only section that will be dragged into our sequence whenever we drop this in. I'm going to shrink this down a bit. And there we go. So now we've got our music track in. Now the first thing we really want to be doing is we're going to be dropping all of these clips in. How many have we got? We've got 12 items up here. And we're going to drop each of these in, and we want to do it to the beat of the music. So if you've seen the other video for how to make a slideshow to the beat, it's the exact same process, but this time we're just going to be dropping videos in instead of just still images. Okay, so what we want to be doing is listen to the music, and as we're going through it, we're just going to hit M every time we hear a beat, and we'll just see how that goes. Now make sure you're clicked off with nothing here. If you have this selected, when you hit markers, you'll only hit markers on this track, which isn't what we want. So you can just do it here with nothing selected, or you can click into this preview window and hit your markers in there. So as you hit play, press M for mother every time you want to make a mark. Okay, now I don't think I'm going to need all of these. Yeah, there's an awful lot there, but we've only got 12 clips that we're going to be dropping in here, so we're not going to use all of this. But if you have more clips, it doesn't take too long to go through it. So the next step then we want to do is we want to go into each. So if you double click each of the clips, and we're going to want to go in and just mark in and out sections on each of them, and that'll be the section that we want to be used whenever we drop it in against the music for the timeline. Okay, so now we've got each of our clips, and if you hover over them, you can see the wee blue line is which bits have been marked in as the in-out section that we want to actually use. So what we want to do then is, well, first off, okay, so now we just want to select the clips that we want to use in the order we want to use them. I'm not hugely fussy over which clips go in here in which order. You may be with your project because you probably actually have a plan with what you're doing. This is really just for demo. So select them all in whatever way you want, hit clip, and then down here I've actually removed this marker, but I'm going to put a marker back in at the start because I want my first clip that I drop in to actually start here. If there's no marker there, it'll start at the first marker, so it'll start over here. So make sure we've got this window selected, up to clip, automate the sequence. Ordering is the selection order, because that's the one we picked it in. Unnumbered markers, that's these little green markers the whole way along. The use in out range, that's that little blue bit that we selected on each clip. And ignore audio, because we don't want any of the audio that comes from this to be dropped in. Now if you do want the audio, just untick that, and then that'll drop the audio in. But I will suggest, if you want the audio to come in, move your music track down a couple just in case the audio gets dropped in over the top of the music and overwrites your music. So hit ignore audio, hit OK, and there we go. That's dropped them all in as per the markers assigned, and we can see here there's actually a little gap. Now that gap is because the in-out range that I assigned in the initial bit isn't as big as the gap in the marker. So if we now go and we hit play on this, we should see all the music come on the beat. And there we go, so that'll actually work quite nicely. Now you will have noticed maybe a couple of the clips are a little more zoomed in than they should have been. If we just right click on those and then hit set the frame size, that'll change that a bit. But if we then go to effect controls and just scale this in or out whatever way you want, I'm going to scale that in a bit, as I want that framing to be a little bit better. Now you will see that you can go to edit, preferences, and then media, and then here default media scaling, set the frame size. Mine is set to frame size and it still didn't quite give me the result I wanted. So having that ticked is not a guarantee failsafe that all your clips are going to drop in properly. So it's always best just to double check these things. So that isn't right as well, because I want more of the mountain that he's on, and I think all the others should be fine. Okay, cool, so that's that done. That's nice and simple. We're going to go here as well to the end. I'm going to go one marker across, and I'm going to drag this one the whole way over, just to kind of give this as our ending. And for our music track then, we can come over here and hit the razor tool, or you can see, you can press C to activate that. Or if you have your scrubber where you want it to go, press Control or Command and K for knife. And that automatically inserts a cut there, and then you can just take the other side and just press delete or right click and clear. And that brings us down there. So a couple of wee things then we're going to do. This last marker, I'm going to go this bottom layer selected, and we can hit a keyframe with this, or we can start the keyframe with that, and then come over a little bit and then just drop the volume down so that it gives it that kind of natural fade out. Okay, so that's that. Now we can go ahead and we can create any of these sort of videos with any number of video clips. We can shorten the video clips to make them quicker and snappier if we want, but all in all, job's a good one. So thanks very much. Hope it was useful, and I'll catch you in the next one.